like your talk better than mine, so I'm gonna copy some of. Actually, it's so funny because a lot of the stuff that domestication and stuff, that's what I was going to talk about. But when you mentioned that Eden, when he was born, that I saw the God in him, it made me think that God is an experience, right? So here's the point I want to get, is that God, when I saw my little grandson, 8 years old, and when he was actually being delivered, I was like on the side right here, and I was watching him, and the doctor pulled him out. I'm going to get too graphic here, but pulled him out, and I actually, his eyes came right by me and were open as he was coming out, slid out, and his eyes were open, and I saw them, and this feeling went through my whole body, and that feeling is God. Does that make sense? It's an experience. It was like the most incredible, light-filled, blissful, awesome experience where, I get tingles every time I think about it, every time that I see it, and you reminded me of it. And it's not a belief. We seek God in our beliefs, right? In our belief systems. We try to seek God in Hinduism and Christianity and Islam, whatever we're seeking it. We're seeking it somewhere out there. And that's not God. What we're seeking is this incredible field that runs through us, and that field is God, and we see it in different ways, and I think that's my whole point I want to get across, but I'm going to give you another talk, but that's the point, is to feel God wherever you are, and you can shift it, like let go of the thoughts and just let God move through you, and that's what we need. We don't need a bunch of beliefs and systems telling us how to believe. So I got a story I'm going to start with that I think you'll like. It's about an eagle, and it's about a little chicken. And nobody knows how this happened, but it was told that there was this baby eagle, and he was left one day to be raised by these chickens in a farm. Now the chicken, they taught him their chicken beliefs. They said, it's dangerous to go out of the coop. Our kind of food is the only healthy food that there is. Our farmer is the only true farmer. Our chicken community is the only true chicken community around. It knows all the answers. The neighboring chickens, they're a little less than perfect, okay? We have all the answers to the questions. We have them in this little chicken book. It felt so good for that little baby eagle to belong. And it wasn't long before that little eagle was conforming, and he began to think like the chickens. He could recite the chicken scriptures, and he learned to convince almost anyone of their chicken beliefs. But somehow, he always felt just a little bit empty. He kind of knew something was different. And he didn't say anything, but he doubted some of the teachings. Then one day, he looked up, and he saw the most beautiful eagle soaring across the sky. Now this baby eagle could feel his heart open. He probably felt like when I saw Eden. I can imagine his heart just opened big, and he yearned to soar in that sky, to be his own person, or bird, to be his own bird, right? To think his own thoughts, and to feel the life of freedom. So he attempted to lift his wings, and he had to fly. And the other chickens laughed at him and said, "You're a chicken. You're supposed to follow the chicken rules. You could go to chicken hell." And so the little baby eagle stopped trying, and he went back to doing the things that chickens do. Then one day, when the beautiful eagle flew across the sky, it was so close that the baby could almost touch him. And he knew at that moment that he could never buy those chicken beliefs ever again. Although he was grateful to them for the care and for some of the teachings, he knew that his life was more than following this set of chicken beliefs. He was ready to soar and create his life his way. The power of his intention was fierce. He bowed his head to his chicken friends, and then he took his leap. He flew first to the fence, and then he took a flying leap toward the sky. He flew high, high, and then higher as he moved away from his old beliefs. His heart opened, and then he experienced who he really was for the first time in his life, and he was finally free to think for himself. So that's my chicken story. That's my eagle story. So I think that we've all been there. I think we've all been the chickens, and I think we've all been the eagles. We've all wanted to belong, that we start to buy into everybody's beliefs, and we've come to the time when we've said, we can't be there any longer. We need to soar. We need to be who we are, whether it's religion or politics, whatever it is. There comes a time in our life when we have to be who we are, when that whatever was put into us has to express. That God has to express uniquely through each of us. And Judy's right, boy, I'll tell you, we are domesticated. And we have to be. That's what happens when we come through to this planet, to this, earth, is that we have to be domesticated. Don Miguel Ruiz says that we're domesticated just like animals are, just like cats and dogs and everything you have to kind of tame. I notice I'm domesticating my little grandkids. I'm helping my daughter do that. And I see the process of how we're doing this. You're a good boy. You're if you do this, a good girl. And it's crazy what we're doing, but that's what we're doing, The truth is that, we have this reward and punish system, that we do. That's what we do with kids, and that's what we do. What's done to us. That we're indoctrinated by our families and our societies, by our religion. And we don't have the opportunity then to choose what we think. It happened to me when I was a child with my religion. It's our families, our communities, everybody else tells us who we are. And our whole faith starts to be invested in what others have told us about who we are. We find out that, we're not this incredible being that we are. We find out that we are not enough. And the truth is, we've always been enough. We've always been whole and complete and perfect when we came in. See, but whatever we invest our faith in becomes a belief for us, doesn't it? Where do you put your faith? See, we create our lives from our faith, from our belief. That's how we create our life. And if we believe that we're not good enough, we're not good enough. It's so true. Until there comes a time when we can break away and fly and see something different, And usually we don't question the beliefs, I notice that sometimes the kids, I'll say something and they'll go, why? And I go, I don't know, it's just the way it is. And they'll go, why? I don't know, It's just the way it is. It's what we do. But the truth is that these beliefs that we have, and Eckhart Tolle probably says it as well as Don Miguel Ruiz, when he says that they're mental concepts. That's all they are. Beliefs are just a mental concept. And what they do is they make up stories. And I got to thinking what this looks like, what does it look like? Do you remember, think of some of your crazy beliefs that you have. Have you ever, maybe it's just my family, but we couldn't eat cherry pie and milk together. Isn't that weird? No, where did that come from? I know, is that weird? But that was a belief. And so to this day, for some reason, if I eat a piece of cherry pie, I wouldn't have milk with it. I mean, I guess I never really thought if I really wanted the milk, I'd have it now. But isn't that interesting? Now, what in your family? There's some crazy ones. I kind of thought of, there's one, don't cut bananas with a knife. There's all these little things that we take all these beliefs because our families did. And that's what we've done with our religions, too. We've done that with so much of our life, and our politics, too. Usually go down a line in a family. But here's what I'm thinking is that, and if you really think about this, I was talking to Tom about it this morning, if the experience is God, right? All there is truth. I'm going to try to spill this out, and it's going to be kind of difficult because it's hard to explain because I'm speaking about truth, what God is. But say that you just see, here's a tree. Truth is the tree, right? The truth is the tree. The tree's there. But we make the story, see, about the tree. And that's what we're talking about, all these mental concepts. We start to say, I see a tree, I like the tree, I don't like the tree, it's a beautiful tree. It's our opinion of the tree. See, and to do that, we start this whole virtual reality. Do you know what virtual reality is? It's this thing where we think it's real. And so all of our ideas become real, but they're not. The only real thing is that there's a tree. And we do that with our lives. Does that even make sense to you? It's like we create these whole stories around our life. And then I'm creating a story, and you're creating a story, and you're creating a story. And then our stories are battling each other. Right? So if there's, 7 billion people on the planet, right? And there's 7 billion stories, right? And all these stories think they're right. But there's only one truth. And the truth is experience. The truth is your experience. And you're the only one who knows it. See? Your truth is different than my truth. Now we can get here and we have 5 basic principles we talk about, and pretty much we kind of agree with this. But your truth has got to be different. And you only know your truth when you feel it, when you experience it, and when you start to, you believe it, you have faith in it, when it runs through you, and you can feel it. When you can feel those baby's eyes moving through you, and you can feel this, or smell the flower, that's the truth. That's God, you know? But it's our stories and our concepts that get in the way of everything. You know, there's all these stories. It cracks me up. See, we're storytellers. We are storytellers. That's what we do. And it doesn't mean we shouldn't have stories. We will have stories. That's, you know, that's the way life works. We all have these incredible stories. I love hearing them. I love hearing your stories, you know, but they're not the truth about you, you know. And we create our stories with our beliefs that aren't even our beliefs. So here's my point, is that there comes a time when we fly, when we break out of all of the beliefs that we used to have, and we start creating our life instead of creating from old beliefs and old ideas, that we create our life with experience. We create our life with awareness. Awareness is a big word here, because awareness opens us up. It opens us up to creating through experience. We create according to not our head, but our presence, our life. We move forward with this incredible field of energy, and we create the next step with that, if that makes sense. You know, it's humans are born with awareness. Remember what awareness is. It's the energy within that knows the difference between a virtual reality and who we really are. If we have awareness, I'm going to know that's a tree, and then I'm going to know that there's a story about the tree. See, we are born to perceive the truth, but we accumulate knowledge, and then we learn to deny what we perceive. Self-mastery is awareness, is all. That's what self-mastery is. It's just knowing the difference between what's real and isn't. That's all. We live in a world that sometimes isn't real. But what is real is the love. What is real is the connection between us. You know, how do we know we're creating from that? When our lives feel good. When we're creating from awareness, when we're creating just from this incredible presence of God, you know, we're creating a life of magic, a life of who we really are. And I'll tell you, when I went to, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I went to Yakima, and Yakima was where I grew up. And I have 2 brothers there, and way different belief systems, And this time, usually we go and we have debates, okay, and I'll, you know, kind of talk about my beliefs and they talk about theirs. And we, you know, I mean, and we get along, but it's interesting. This time I said, I don't want to do this. I'm getting older, and it's on my bucket list to really connect and love my brother, you know, and you know, just not have any feelings that, you know, there's so much difference, you know. So I went there with that intention. And as it started out, you know, such a simple life. Oh my gosh, they live in the little town of Yakima where I grew up, right? They sit under this birch tree and have iced tea. I drink iced tea, they're Mormon, they drink water, I think, or something. But anyway, so we sat under there, and there was this heart connection. And after all of the kind of, you know, the beginning, kind of some of the beliefs got there, what do you believe about Jesus? And I'm going, hey, let's not go there right now, you know? I said, you know, you don't want to really hear what I have to say about that. And, you know, it's like, you know, let's connect at something deeper. Let's connect at the level of awareness. And we did. And I swear to God, there was like this thread of love that went through there. I saw them differently, both of them. I love them so deeply after this. It was so neat to be able to let all the head and the concepts about who's Jesus and where you're going after you die and, you know, all this stuff. Who cares? It didn't matter. None of it mattered. What mattered was the love, the connection that I had with my brothers. And to this day, you know, I'm so glad that the beliefs I was able to let go. So the truth is that God is the experience. That was the experience of love right there. Not the beliefs all didn't matter, you know. Somebody said that the rest is commentary, you know. All there is love, and the rest is commentary. And that's the truth. All there is this power, this energy of God, this energy of love. So my prayer for all of us, we're running out of time, is that, you know, we let go of just these limiting beliefs, and we open up, we feel, you know, the power that ego felt when it flew. Thank you.